Hello, everybody. Happy 4th of July week. It's a very important week in our hometown and also has great significance for the country because 4th of July is better known as Independence Day. It's the day that a bunch of radical Americans said, "We have rights." So, I wanted to mention that in a recent journal, this was dated June 21, 2024, they talked about the Boro meeting, and there was various things. And here at the end of on page 1, where they're talking about it, says the second area of discussion, continued on page 5, this is centered on issues raised by code enforcer Gary Jones. Jones spoke first about the progress being made in drafting specific guidelines for inspection of rental properties. This is important because renters and owners need to be aware of the requirements in order to meet them and prepare for the inspections. Jones asked permission to study the proposed requirements further and then submit them to the solicitor for comment. It was granted. And then he talked about abandoned vehicles, which is a problem. And he spoke about dangerous abandoned properties. That's good thing. But let's go back to this inspection of rental properties, if we may. Okay. Now, the last I knew, oh, by the way, let me just, a little disclaimer. This is coming from the journal, so they may have got it wrong. The journal tends to spend more time worrying about cute headlines than they do facts and grammar. But let's go on the assumption that that's what this was about, that the code enforcer wants to come up with regulations about inspecting rental properties, and he's going to send it to solicitor. And, how much does that cost, having the solicitor read over things? But let's come back to that. What I want to talk about is the fact that last I knew there are 2 retired teachers and a retired state cop on Borough Council. So when he talked about going out and inspecting rental properties, I'm wondering, did none of them bring up the 4th Amendment to the Constitution? Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but when I went to school in this school district and was probably sitting in the same classroom as that retired cop, they talked about how important the Constitution was, and in particular the Bill of Rights, in which the 4th Amendment states the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Okay? That's the 4th Amendment. No searches without warrants. So let me just say to Mr. Jones, if you come to my house without a warrant, you're not getting in. And don't think otherwise. And let's see you get a warrant from a judge saying why in particular my property needs to be searched. But, just for the heck of it, let's look at the 14th Amendment, shall we? The 14th Amendment says, No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of laws. Equal protection. That means everybody's treated equally. So tell me this, Mr. Code Enforcer, and ladies and gentlemen of the Borough Council, why are you singling out renters? Isn't that discrimination? So I bring this up, and I put this out there publicly, hoping as many of those council members see it as possible. Just to say that hopefully when you waste money on the solicitor, he will say, you can't do this. But if not, if you actually make some sort of ordinance telling your code enforcement officer that he can go out and search rental properties, and you're going to be wasting money on the solicitor, you're going to be wasting money publishing it and all that. And then you're also going to be wasting money because, there's going to be some jackass with too much time on their hands who will challenge this in court. And win or lose, you're going to be wasting a lot more of the borough's money that could be spent in better ways. Are you listening? Quit wasting money on silly crap. There are things in this town that need fixed. That's all I gotta say. Have a good 4th of July, everybody. Peace out.